Good morning, everybody. I hope that you had such a fantastic night last night and that you had a great time talking with Mr. Zachary, Miss Gabby, and all your friends this morning, and that you are ready for a brand new video today. I know yesterday's video was so much fun because we got to hear Mr. Zachary's mom tell us a story about being kind. Now, we, yesterday, used our picture power and details to help figure out how the characters in the book were feeling. But today, we're going to use picture powers and details to think about something that we talked about a long time ago in the videos. It's not the setting. It's not how the characters are feeling. It's something different. Do you remember what it might be? I'll give you some hints. Every story has 3 parts. The first part is called the beginning. The second part is called the do you remember? Middle. And the last part is called the end. That's right. 3 parts of stories: beginning, middle, and end. Today, we're going to read one of our favorite stories, Pete the Cat. Rock on, Mom and Dad. And we are going to use details and picture power to think about where is the beginning, middle, and end in the story. Whew, I don't know about you guys, but I could sure use to stretch. Yesterday we did our stretches that we usually do during nap time. Today I thought that we could do our stretching song. So you find a spot where you have a lot of space to move around, and I will push the camera back so we can stretch. Go find your spot. Did you find a spot to stand? I'll go and start the song.
Touch your toes with your left hand. Point to the right, to the right, to the right. With your right hand, point to the left, to the left, to the left. Put your left foot forward and lunge. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Put your right foot forward and lunge. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Put your left foot forward and lunge. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Put your right foot forward and lunge. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Reach back. Put your left foot in your hand and stretch it out. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Stretch it out. Reach back. Put your right foot in your hand and stretch it out. 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 Sit on the floor with your back up straight. We're gonna stretch it out now, and it's gonna feel great. Put your legs straight out and touch your toes. Touch your toes. Touch your toes. Pull your left foot in and stretch to the right. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Pull your right foot in and stretch to the left. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Pull both legs in and stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stand up straight and wiggle your head. Wiggle your head. Wiggle your head. Stand up straight and wiggle your arms. Wiggle your arms. Wiggle your arms. Stand up straight and wiggle your hips. Wiggle your hips. Wiggle your hips. Stand up straight and wiggle your legs. Wiggle your legs. Wiggle your legs.
Great job, everybody. That was such a good job stretching. Oh, awesome. So I'm going to bring the camera back this way, and we can take some deep breaths before we read our story. Let's take 4 deep breaths today, all right? We'll start with number 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, that was number 1. Now let's do number 2. Breathe in. Breathe out. That was 2. Now let's do number 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. That was 3. Now let's tack on number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. Who's ready for our story today? Now, we said that in our story today, we would be using picture power and details to try and think about the beginning. Oops, camera's turning. Beginning, middle, and end of our story. Now, the last time that we read Rock On, Mom and Dad, we figured out the problem that Pete is trying to solve. Do you remember? Pete wakes up in the morning and his parents help him out with so many things. Pete decides that he wants to do something to show his mom and dad how much he loves them. But can he think of anything? He has a hard time. He tries to think of things, but nothing will work. Everything either ends up making a mess or it ends up breaking. Pete has a hard time thinking of an idea that's a good idea. His problem in this story is that he can't think of something to do for his mom and dad. He's run out of ideas. I remember that we talked about that on Tuesday, the last time we read this book. Now keep that problem in your mind as we look over here at our chart. Remember, the beginning of the story is when characters find their problem. So when Pete finds his problem, that'll be the beginning of the story. The middle of the story is when characters think about what? They think about how to fix their problem. And the end of the story, look at him all smiling, is when their problem is over. Their problem is fixed. There's no more problem. So let's think about that together as we read the story. We'll try and figure out what's the beginning of the story, what's the middle, and what's the end. Pete the cat. Rock on, Mom and Dad. It's Monday morning and Pete the cat wakes up, only to realize that he's running late for school. His alarm didn't go off. Oh no! This is definitely not how Pete wanted to start his week. He gets dressed so fast, but he knows that his mom and dad will help him. He goes downstairs and his dad makes him breakfast. As he's ready to leave the house, his mom says, "Pete, aren't you missing something?" Pete almost forgot his backpack. Good thing Mom had it ready for him just in time. Pete is so happy that his mom and his dad are able to help him out every single day. They do so much for him. After Pete gets home from school, Mom helps him practice his baseball. Pete gets better every single day when Mom helps him. Then, Pete's dad takes him to guitar lessons. Rocking out on his guitar is Pete's favorite thing to do. He loves making music. Every day, Mom and Dad do so many things to help Pete, and Pete realizes he's never really said thank you. So today, Pete decides that he's going to think of something special he can do for Mom and Dad to say thank you. He could try to make them dinner, but that would probably make a big mess in the kitchen. He could pick them flowers, but he doesn't really know what type of flowers Mom and Dad like. He could clean the house, but last time he did that, what happened? He knocked things over and broke them. He could mow the grass, but he might mow the garden. He could fix the car, but he doesn't really know how. Pete has run into his problem. What's his problem again? Can you remind me? Yeah, Pete doesn't know what to do for his mom and dad. He has a couple ideas, but they're not very good ideas. His problem is that he doesn't know what to do. He can't clean, he can't mow, he can't fix the car. That seems like a problem. Has Pete found his problem? I think so. If he finds his problem, then what part of the story are we in? The beginning. Pete found his problem that he has to fix. This part of the story where he... Wait one second. Wait for it. This part of the story where he wakes up, he's running late, he gets breakfast, he plays baseball, goes to his guitar, and then he can't find anything to do. That's the beginning of the story. This is the part of the story where Pete finds his problem. Now, the next part of our story is called the middle. The middle, when he thinks of a way to fix his problem. Try and see if you can use details to help figure that out. That seems nice, but it doesn't seem like enough. Pete really wants to do something really special for Mom and Dad that they will love and appreciate. He wants them to know how much he loves them and how much he loves having them around. Wait, I see a detail in this picture that looks pretty familiar to me. What do you notice about this picture? What is Pete doing? He's thinking. Do you see how he's thinking of a way to fix his problem? I use my picture power to look and see, there's a detail. He's thinking. I can tell because of the little dots coming out of his head. He's thinking about a way to fix his problem. Wait, so if he's thinking of a way to fix his problem, what part of the story is it? It's the middle. Do you see how this person is thinking of how to fix their problem in the same way that Pete is thinking about how to fix his problem? Look at those details, my friends. This is the middle of the story. Now, what part is next? After the middle, we get the end, when his problem is fixed. So let's keep thinking, and we'll figure out what the end is. Pete asked his brother Bob for some help. He said, I want to do something to tell Mom and Dad how much I love them. What can I do? It doesn't matter what you do, says Bob. It's how you do it. So long as it comes from your heart, Mom and Dad will totally dig it. That gives Pete an idea. He knows exactly what to do to show Mom and Dad how grateful he is. there's one thing that Pete can do better than anybody else. Rock out on his guitar, making what? Music. What details do you see here? Maybe you see Pete's guitar. You see the music notes coming away from it. Is Pete getting an idea? He's fixing his problem. So Pete sits down and writes Mom and Dad a beautiful song, and soon he's ready to perform it, all the way on his guitar. He says, "Mom and Dad, you're the best. I love you more than all the rest. Yeah, I do. I can't count all the things you do. I know it's because of you. I love you with all my heart." "That was awesome," says Dad, "and very sweet. We weren't expecting that," said Mom. "It was the best surprise ever." What details do you guys notice in this picture? Pete has surprised his mom and dad. You can see the detail that his mom is here, his dad is here, there's hearts all around them. Did he already do his big surprise? Yeah, he did. He did his big surprise, and he found an idea. Did Pete fix his problem? That's right. Let's look back at our chart. Pete got the chance to fix his problem, which means that this picture is the end. Thank you for the story. Thank you very much. Woohoo! Awesome job, my friends. We got to use so many details in that book to figure out beginning, middle, and end. So far, we've used picture power and details to learn a lot about this story. We used our picture power and details to figure out what Pete's problem was that he tries to fix in this story. We used picture power to figure out where is the beginning, where is the middle, and where is the end. And then yesterday when we read a story with my mom, we used picture power to figure out how the characters were feeling. We could do that with this story too. We use picture power and details to figure out so much. And as you keep reading books at school and at home and in kindergarten, you are going to use picture power to figure out so many different things as you get older. Today, for our at-home activity, we're going to think about details in a way that is a little bit different. I know that you guys have had lots of time to watch movies at home and a lot of time to watch TV at home. Did you know that there are details in movies and TV shows too? Details aren't just in books. Details are everywhere that we go. There are details in your house that you can see. There are details in the books that you read, in the things that you do with your toys, in the movies that you watch, and in the TV shows that you watch too. So mom and dads, today you can focus on finding details in the movies and TV that your kiddo is watching. All you need is whatever movie and TV show that they're already watching, and then you can get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. Now go ahead and watch some of the TV with them, or they can just watch it as you do what you need to do in the background. But every once in a while, I would like you to pause the movie and the TV, and then ask your student what details do they notice about this scene. And you can help them. It could be the outfits that the different characters are wearing. You could look at the expression on the characters' faces and say, oh, what details do you notice about his face and how he's feeling? How is he feeling? And they could say mad, and you could say, how do you know that he's mad? Let's look at details to figure out. Is he frowning? Are his eyebrows furrowed down? Details could be in the setting. What details do you notice about the setting of this movie? So in Frozen, you could notice the detail that the snow is on the ground, you know that they're on the really tall mountain, and you could say that the setting is outside in the winter, in the forest, and you use all the details to figure it out. You know, every single time that we watch movies or a TV show or read a story, we use details constantly to decipher information in whatever that we're watching, and that's what kids do too. The only thing that we're doing in this activity is helping them be really analytical about their process in doing it. So as they give you details, then you can help them write the details down on a sheet of paper. They can draw a picture of it if they want to, and then you can label it next to it, or you can do hand over hand and you can write down the details with them. You could write snow, you could write frowning, you could write something about Spider-Man, like the colors of his costumes, just really walking them through noticing the details in whatever they're looking at, and then asking them, what do those details tell you? That is a really good activity that you can do anytime that you're watching movies or TV or reading stories. I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys in the morning. I'm really excited, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.